Hello, 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 and welcome to Drew's Book Reviews. This is a really exciting day. This is my 500 sub, 5-year BookTube anniversary live stream. First and foremost, I'm sorry about the terrible blurry camera. This computer is just, the camera's really bad. But we're just going to have to work with it and see what we can do on that. So, yeah, here we are 5 years later on BookTube, 500 subscribers. This is going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to be watching my first ever video that I ever put out on BookTube. That is going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to be joined by at least Bookish Chas in a bit here, and it'll be fun. I've put a general invite onto my Discord on the live stream channel. So if you happen to be in my Discord and you want to join the stream, as soon as I am done with going over my Patreon, we will add whoever wants to join us as we watch my first ever cringy video. And trust me, you'll see what I mean by cringy if you haven't seen my first ever video yet. So if you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching. If you're watching live, great to have you here. I see CD's already in the chat. Awesome to see you. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, so let's start off a little bit, just talking a little bit about my Patreon that I have launched now that I've got 500 subs in 5 years on BookTube. So with my Patreon, this is what we have available for people who sign up for the Patreon. I've got 3 tiers. I know tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, not super creative names. Maybe we'll figure out some creative names for that later on. But the gist of it is this will help me support the channel, help continue to make some great content, and continue to do some awesome stuff here on the channel for the next 5 years. So what we have here, starting with tier 1, it's a $1.50 a month Canadian or $1 US. Essentially, you get a thank you in my videos. We'll get a patron-only Discord room once I have 5 patrons, and you're going to get exclusive voting power on my monthly patron pick poll that I'll be putting up. Once I have 3 patrons, there'll be a monthly patron pick poll where you get to vote on what video or what book I get to read that month from a selection of books from my to be read pile. With the second tier, of course, you get all the benefits of tier 1, but you're also going to get early access to my patron pick book review that I'll be putting out each and every month with that. But in addition to that, there'll be a patron only Discord room, as well as we're looking at having a monthly hangout and your name and book giveaway draws at least semi-annually, if not quarterly. And then with the top tier, 13.50 Canadian or $10 American. What you're going to get, of course, all the other benefits as well. But in this, you're actually going to get your name in more draws. So the plan is, once I have enough patrons, with the book draws is for the tier 2 level, you'll be semi-annually, and tier 3 level, there'll be quarterly book draws. But in addition to that, if you're a tier 3 patron, once per quarter, you're going to get to choose. You're going to tell me what bookish topic you want me to make a video on. And that'll be for my tier 3 patrons. So if there's just one tier 3 patron, they're going to get the choice every time. If there's more than one, I'm going to do a random name draw for who gets to pick it for that quarter. So that is essentially what I've got with my Patreon. So definitely check that out. Link is in the description. So that's patreon.com/Drew's Book Reviews. So that'll be fun. And definitely be sure to check that out if you are interested. And of course, as always, like, comment, subscribe. All that is really appreciated as well. My content will always be free here on YouTube to enjoy. So that's just a brief overview of the Patreon that I have set up. And awesome. Thanks for joining us, Rude Eyed Adventure and Jason Cross Reads Books as well. Thank you so much for joining me on the stream today. I do appreciate it. All right, so now we're going to have Bookish Chas join us, and we'll see if anybody else pops in. So there we go. There's Bookish Chas.
Well, hello there.
Hello, yes. Well, shall we get on to checking out our new, or checking out the first ever video that I ever put out on BookTube? This is going to be kind of cringy. So, I just want to warn you in advance. This is going to be kind of cringy. So let me just bring it up here.
I'm excited to watch it. This will be a lot of
So
fun. And congrats on
this was
500 subs, dude.
thanks so much. You bet. And I hope here's to another 500.
Exactly.
All right. So this was a book called Tough Voyaging. Now, when I started BookTube, honestly, I didn't even realize BookTube was a thing. I just thought I'm getting tired of writing these reviews. It's time. Why don't I just make a video and put it on YouTube? So that's what I did. Tough Voyaging. My daughter filmed this, and it's terrible, but we're gonna have fun. All right. So let's make sure. Okay, perfect. I'll add it in there. So, are we ready to watch this terrible, cringy video? All right, here we go. Somebody let me know if you can't hear anything, but you should be able to hear it. Welcome to Drew's Book Reviews YouTube channel for my debut video book review. Okay, just to start, that's squeaking on the chair. Ah, that's terrible. And the lighting is just horrible. Just horrible. I had no idea what I was doing. You could clearly see that. The glare from through the window, the squeaking of the chair, just everything, just terrible. I should have worn that jersey for this because it's the jersey I wore in the first video.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
All right, let's see what other horrible stuff comes up.
Review. So I am reviewing George R.R. Martin's Tough Voyaging, 440 pages. And as you probably already know, George R.R. Martin, author of the famous Game of Thrones, which is a fantastic series, by the way. I've got a few reviews on my site, andrewsbookreviews.wordpress.com. So,
okay, that site, don't bother with it. It's defunct, essentially. I haven't put anything on that in a long time.
Tough Voyaging. It's divided into approximately 8 chapters, essentially, but each chapter in and of itself could also be as a standalone short story. So it follows the adventures of a guy named Haviland Tough, who has this ecological seed ship, which was really designed for ecological warfare across the galaxy. It's an ancient ship, about 1,000.
And of course, the loud dog barking in the background. And my wife going, "Stop it! Stop barking!" Like I said, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. This is just fun though.
1,000 years old, and he manages to get his hands on it and becomes the sole ecological engineer of the galaxy. So the story keeps coming back to this planet named Sultan, who has a problem. You see, the Sultan people are obsessed with sex. All they care about is making babies. It's all part of their religion. And they have to make more babies and more babies and more babies, and they just won't stop. And they're running out of food. They can't grow enough food. And Haviland Tough comes along. He's proposed all kinds of solutions to them, to their problem. And finally, he's had enough. He can't stand how crazy these people are. Like, just stop having sex, for crying out loud, and making so many babies already. But that's sacrilege. You can't do that. So Paul's Haviland Tough and his proposed solutions, but it goes beyond that. It goes to other planets, of course, in each segment of the book, helping to resolve their problems. And everywhere he's met with distrust, he's met with fear, he's met with even hatred at some points. They were trying to take control of him and take his ship from him, manipulate and control him. And all this time, he's just presenting himself as a sweet, humble, ecological engineer who only cares about helping people and collecting his fees. And what he sees is a very reasonable amount in order to maintain his business. And he's always saying, "Why am I met with mistrust everywhere?" His sole companions, his cats, which is, I think, kind of funny about the story. He's obsessed with his cats. They're like his best friends. His only companions, it's him and his cats on this absolutely massive ship. It's like 30 kilometers long. It's huge. And his cats have psychic abilities. They can read people's minds, sense their moods. And he consistently turns to his cats for his comfort and his companionship. So ultimately, the question ends with this: is Haviland Tough really who he claims to be? A ship that has effectively given him godlike powers. Is he really the humble guy he is, or is he just an expert of manipulating those who he's dealing with? Is he really just a nice, sweet, humble guy who's just trying to run an honest business? Or is he really taking advantage of the people who desperately need his help to help their societies through ecological engineering? That my friends. You'll have to decide for yourself when you pick up this book and read it. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a really fun novel to read. And I loved how it broke it down to short stories, essentially, which by themselves could actually be standalone on each individual story, but still nicely ties into a greater whole story, which I thought was done really well. So this is one of George R. R. Martin's earlier works before Game of Thrones, but overall, really good book, and I really enjoyed it. And I would definitely give this, I would say, an 8 out of 10. Bookworms, and I hope you enjoyed the review as well, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. So thanks for taking the time to listen. Please share, and if you have, as always, if you have any recommendations on books you think I should read or review, leave them in the comments below, or just your general comments on the book review itself. So again, thanks for listening, and for a written version, or if you prefer to read the reviews, you can visit andrewsbookreviews.wordpress.com, where I'll be posting the link to this video on that site as well. And thank you so much, and have a great day.
Okay, that was just cringy with how bad that was.
You know what though? It wasn't really that bad. I mean, the content was good and everything like that. Other than the ambient noises, like the squeaking of the chair and stuff, it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like the content, as far as what it's saying for sure, but just watching just how bad the lighting was and the noise is just like, it was just cringy. But yeah, no, and I totally forgot about so much in that book. That was like 5 years ago. Of course, I read it. I totally forgot about so much of the stuff in that book. Maybe I'll have to go back and reread it. Uh,
There you
at
go.
some point. Who knows? Yeah, so Jason says, sounds like my first book, my first video as well. And C says, you've come a long way in video production. I agree
You
wholeheartedly.
have.
Like
Yeah.
the stuff that I figured out now, and it's just, I do have a lot of fun with it. And it's just a lot of fun just to check that out. And just to, I really enjoy doing the editing and stuff that I do with that now. And yeah, I agree. It's a big difference in the overall production quality and editing by far.
Yeah,
Big time.
most definitely. You have come a long way. The lighting and everything is just so much better.
Oh, that's an understatement. That is a big
Yeah.
understatement. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I really didn't know what it. I had no editing software. I just that was like purely unedited video, and maybe I should go back and redo it. Just make a better review without all that, squeaking and terrible stuff in it. Maybe I will one day. Who knows? Who knows? But
Right. Yeah. Give
yeah,
you a chance to reread the book.
it's definitely a learning experience. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Huge, big time, right? Because there's just so much to learn when you start on this. Uh, yes, it was fun to see. Thank you. Sometimes it is fun to kind of go back and look at all my old videos to kind of see what it was like then versus now, and just a big difference. There's been so many videos that I've just had so much fun making. It's there's that one a while ago where I kind of put like a double from parallel universes of me in there, or when I was on the bridge of the Enterprise. That was a fun one to make.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Though those were fun ones to make. It could be kind of tricky though, trying to get everything right so it lines up properly, because you basically have to film twice and overlay it, right?
Uh-huh.
That
Right.
that could be tricky for sure. Yeah, but definitely a lot of fun. Well, here's to another 5 fantastic years, or 5 more years. Here's hope anyway. That's the plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And I bet you'll hit 1,000 subscribers before that 5 years is up.
Oh, I'm thinking probably, yeah. It's really been just crazy the past couple of years. Since 2020 really is actually 2020 is kind of when I actually started editing my videos and not just raw footage up there.
Right.
And That's kind of when it really started to take off. I think I had like 100 subscribers at the end of 2019, and then by the end of 2020 it was like 200. It was like 200, and then I was at like 400, and now I'm at 500.
Right.
So yeah, it's just really taken off, which has just been awesome, and I've been loving every minute of it. I I could see myself doing this until I'm old and dead.
Oh yeah, same here. Yeah, and I've heard once you hit the 500 subscriber mark, you really start to grow a lot more and a lot more quickly. Once you hit that, it's kind of that milestone where it's almost
Yeah,
like YouTube says, "Oh, they got 500 subscribers. Maybe we'll recommend them more."
yeah. Here's hoping, right? Here's
Yeah,
hoping. I don't know how long I'll keep doing this. Like I said, I'll always do it as long as it's fun. And right now, it's still a lot of fun.
exactly. Yeah,
And it's just talking about books. I mean, I if YouTube was around when I was in junior high, I probably would have started then. But I
yeah.
mean, YouTube did not exist when I was in school. Now, I don't know if that makes me old or just implies that YouTube is super young and we just don't realize it, or maybe a bit of both. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even remember when like YouTube came on the scene, but it's not that old.
No,
Yeah.
I think it was 2004 YouTube came on the scene.
Oh wow, was it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 2004. Yeah.
Yeah, my oldest daughter is older than YouTube, which is just weird to think about because it just feels like it's always been there,
Yeah.
right?
2004 was the year my son was born. So yeah, he's 18.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was just how old was I in 2004? I would have been 23.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, I was 26. No, wait. No. That's wrong. No, I was 30. Or no, I was 29. I was almost 30. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not that much older than me. See,
Yeah.
I'd probably have gray hair if I let it grow, but I'm not letting it grow. Maybe
I
that's where I should do a challenge. If I get to 1,000 subs by May 16th, I'll grow my hair out for
grow
a
your
year.
hair out. There you go. I remember like because I remember going through the backlog of some of your videos, and I remember seeing a few videos where you had some hair.
Yeah, I think there might have been one or two in there.
Yeah. So yeah. So that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
For the record, don't hold me to that promise to grow my hair. I'm just
Hold him
putting
to it,
it.
everybody. Come on, hold him to it.
It's too much hassle. It's just easier to shave it every day. It honestly
it.
is.
I understand that. Yeah, and it's cheaper than getting a haircut too.
Oh,
So
it's far cheaper.
yeah,
And
yeah.
just yes, I mean my shampoo costs are like nothing. It's great.
Wow, I know, right? Wash and go.
Exactly right. That's half the fun with that for sure.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
just while I got this, like I'm just curious, like do you have of all the videos of mine you've seen, do you have a favorite that you like the most, or one that really stands
Oh,
out to you? Because
wow.
I know what
Well,
my favorite are, but I'm sometimes curious what are my some of my viewers' favorites.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and everybody sound off in the comments below too if you're here
Yes.
if you have a favorite of Drew's videos. Um well, I know for sure that I've liked all the ones where you put a lot of work into your green screen videos. And so those are some of my favorites. The one you mentioned earlier with the Star Trek Enterprise, or where you duplicated yourself.
Yeah, that was the physics of the future. I kind of
Yeah,
role played interviewing Captain Picard. It was fun.
yeah, yeah. That I
Or
really
being
like
Captain
that
Picard,
one.
but
I can't think off of the top of my head though, like a favorite video of yours that I've seen, but you've done so many good ones though, Drew. So I mean, your book haul videos are always a lot of fun to watch, and
yeah, I
uh,
should be doing a first quarter book haul early April, although it'll be very small. I haven't
nice.
really spent a lot on books in the last few months, but
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
yeah, and those seem to do really well on YouTube as well.
Oh yeah, you BookTube loves book hauls.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've always found it kind of funny that actual reviews tend to do the least well on
Yeah,
BookTube. But at the same
yeah,
time, it's
they
kind
do.
of understandable as well. I mean, people don't want spoilers or they don't want to go into a read with any preconceived ideas. So often they'll watch a review of a book they've already read rather than one they haven't read.
Right.
So that's kind of understandable there. But yeah, it's always so much fun to do both types of videos. So of course, when I started the channel, it was just book review, book review, book review, book review.
Hmm.
I didn't really do much different than that, but now definitely I'm having a lot of fun with all kinds of things, whether that's book hauls, book tags. Um, I'm working on. I'm going to be doing a bit of a series on a like I've seen this going around BookTube as well. People are talking about the series that they're either reading or want to read, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking of doing a series of videos, one on a book series that I want to reread. So I've already read it all. It's a complete
Hmm.
series, but I want to reread it at some point. And one on series that I haven't actually gotten to yet, as well as series that I'm currently reading. So
Hmm.
that's so kind of like a three-part video series type thing on that.
That's
Which,
cool. I like
yeah,
it.
yeah, because there's definitely a lot of series that I'm interested in reading that I haven't gotten to yet. Uh,
I know.
what's
I
that one?
feel you.
Christopher Rocky's. What was that? Demon and what? Sun Eater.
The Sun Eater series. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot about that right now. So I'm definitely hoping to get to that eventually.
Yeah, so that's definitely one that I want to get to for sure. And series I want to read, like I'm going to get back to reread the Sword of Truth series I'm currently
Mm.
reading, or things like Powder Mage. I call it currently reading because I've read all but the last book, and I'm rereading the whole series, first and second trilogy. So I still count
Hmm.
that as currently reading. And then, of course, there's incomplete series like A Song of Fire and Ice.
Hmm.
George R. R. Martin.
Right.
Will that ever be complete? I don't know. Do
I
we?
don't know.
Does
He says
anybody
he's
know?
still working on it. So
If anyone knows in the comments when that'll actually be finished, let us know.
yeah. And now that social distancing is kind of like now that we've kind of gotten to our normal for
Yeah.
everything with the pandemic, it seems like he's really ramped up his involvement in all these other projects again. Like I read his recent blog post, and apparently we're getting a Dunk and Egg miniseries.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so which is I don't know if you read A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but it's a great story.
I
It would
haven't
make a
read that one. I kind of, I mean, I'm still interested in George R. R. Martin's world of Game of Thrones world,
yeah,
but I haven't exactly been like, ooh, new book in the Game of Thrones world, gotta buy.
yeah, I
Right?
hear you.
I mean, it's been so long since the last Game of Thrones book was published. I'm just like, yeah, there's lots of other stuff to read. At this point, I've probably forgotten three-quarters of what's in the book, really, other than, the general plot.
Yeah,
So, although it might be fun to eventually go and reread those ones, who knows? Sword of Truth is definitely one I want to get to rereading at some
yeah.
point. That's a pretty big. So that is on my rereads list. I think I'm actually going to get to that before the end of the year, as far as rereads go.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite series of all time. So I don't know if I'm going to do a series review or if I'm going to do individual book reviews on each one. I've done a couple of books in that world reviews on the channel, but I'm thinking maybe I'll do a full series review once I've reread it. It's actually been quite a while. Dune's another one I want to reread.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I enjoyed my reread of that last year, although I haven't read the other six books in the original series, so I'm hoping to get to that this year.
I've read most of the Dune universe stuff. A lot of Dune fans just can't stand the extra stuff that Brian Herbert, I think it was, wrote.
Yeah, that's very divisive. Yeah,
But
it
I
really is.
like them. Like I think the whole machine war and the machine crusade and all that. I think that was just a fantastic, um, a really good story. I really enjoyed that story. I do. It's like I get it. It's not Frank Herbert's original Dune, but
Hmm.
does it have to be that for it to be good? I don't think so. I
Right,
really enjoyed all the books in the House Carino, House Harkonnen, House Atreides, Paula Dune, the Machine Crusade stuff. I really
right.
enjoyed all that, and I'll probably get to rereading that stuff eventually. I mean, I'd watch a short movie based on that easily. Just please, Apple, don't do that. I don't want to subscribe to Apple TV again. Honestly, I find their interface and apps not very user friendly if you don't have an Apple device.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, and they're kind of a one-hit wonder with Foundation. I mean, pretty much
Yeah.
everything else, I don't know if it's worth it. Well, I like Snoopy, like the Peanuts game. They all of those are on there. So,
Well, C's
uh,
C's good. If you haven't watched C on Apple TV, that's good.
oh, I've heard that's good too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I might check that out.
that was filmed here on Vancouver Island, just up the island from me.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, this is Hollywood North up here, so an insane amount of stuff is filmed up here. The 100 TV series was filmed in around Vancouver.
Okay.
X
I
Files
think
was
I did
famous
know
for,
that about the
yeah,
100. Yeah.
and of course the X Files is famous for filming up and around here as well.
Okay.
There's a show Resident Alien. I believe it's based off of a graphic novel series.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I that one's also filmed here on Vancouver Island, just up the island from me as well.
Okay,
So
nice.
it's like Hollywood North up here. Like tons of stuff is filming all the time. I mean, can you blame them? I mean, the scenery up here is gorgeous. That's why I
It,
just love getting out and biking
yeah.
around up here, right?
I do want a vacation up there sometime. Yeah, that I've heard it's gorgeous.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Expensive, but beautiful.
Yes, I've heard.
Oh, it's insanely expensive here. Third most expensive city in Canada after Toronto and Vancouver.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a
So
dang.
it can be pricey, but that's life, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I haven't bought a lot of books in the last few months. But hey, that's okay.
Is it partly because you're on an island too that makes it pretty pricey?
I think that's the excuse, but I mean, come on, it's an hour and a half across a boat. It's not like it's an isolated island and they've got an
True.
airport,
Yeah.
right? But it's just it's in demand, right? It comes down to supply and demand. I mean, people want to live in this part of the country because it's the nicest, most calm climate, I guess is the best way to put it in Canada. I mean, winters in Victoria are +5 in rain. In the rest of the country, it's -20 in snow. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
yeah, but that's probably part of it, I'm sure. But just the way it goes sometimes. You just go
Yeah.
with it,
True.
right? Yeah. So what are you reading right now, Jess?
Oh, right now I'm reading Dead House Gates and Death Masks, which is book 5 in the Dresden
Oh,
Files.
Death Mass, Dresden Files, anything Dresden Files. I love it.
Oh, I
I'm
do
also
too.
I'm also reading Malazan right now. I'm at like 850 at 1200 on Bone Hunters.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm behind on my to be read again. Like it's what, the 13th, and the Bone Hunters I was supposed to read last month,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
still not done it
Well,
for this month.
I
So.
was supposed to finish Dead House Gates last month, and it carried over into March, and it's only 800 pages. And then I looked at the next book, and Memories of Ice is like 952 pages. I'm like, oh
Oh yeah,
no.
it's insane.
Yeah.
Great series though. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
I love the series. They're just big books, right? So
Yeah.
they take a bit to get through.
Well,
I'm
I'm
probably gonna have
definitely
to kind of
enjoying it.
adjust my TBR a bit and kind of maybe move some books to next year to make room for Malazan. Because really,
Yeah.
I just kind of want to get through it, right? I want to finish it so I can say it's done. Otherwise, it's just sitting on myself. But it's like if I don't get through it, I'm gonna be thinking, man, am I ever gonna be finished this series?
Yeah.
So I'm just pounding through one month after the other until it's done. I'll be like, it.
That's cool. I may do that as well, although I may take some breaks in between. So I'm not going to push too hard since they're such large books. I don't want to burn myself out on the Lawson. So
Oh yeah, I could see how that could happen. I was kind of going every other month, but it's like, oh, it's going to take forever to get through this. Although Discworld, that's going to take me like 2 years, but there's 42 books and I'm reading one a month.
yeah, there you go.
But Discworld, oh, that's actually viewer choice for review for this month is the Discworld book I plan on reading this month.
Nice.
That's something else I'm doing. If you haven't, for anybody watching on the replay or live, if you haven't checked out my community tab, my goal every month is to post a poll where my subscribers get to vote on a book from my to be read list that they want to see a review on.
Nice.
So, it'll be the viewer's choice review, unlike the patron pick, where it's you actually get to choose what book I read versus just which one you get a review on.
That's cool. That's an awesome idea. Yeah, I might have to do that once I reach that milestone. So that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to interacting on that post and choosing
Speaking of, yeah,
reviews because
Speaking of reaching that milestone, if even 10% of my subscribers subscribe to Bookish right now, he'll be at that milestone. So do it. Go subscribe.
Yeah, I
Go to
think
his
it's
channel.
26 subs away.
There you go. Not even 5%. 5% of my viewers, of my subscribers, go subscribe to Bookish. Also, click on his Patreon link and become a Patreon at Chas,
Well,
because
thank
Chas
you,
is
sir.
awesome.
Thank you.
Right?
I'm not
Uh,
worthy.
uh, honestly, sometimes yeah, I feel the same way. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but there's been so many times in the last 5 years that I've been on BookTube here where I'm looking at this and I'm like, why am I still doing this? Is anyone really watching? Right? And
Yeah, you get
and
that
then
feeling, right?
it's funny. There's times where I've been feeling that way, and then suddenly someone will post a comment, like a really nice comment about how much they love my video or they like what I had to say, and I'm like,
Hmm.
people are watching. I got to keep doing this.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
have I have fans, my adoring fan base.
oh, the best is getting fan mail. I've got one fan who sent me several books, a couple
Oh,
of books
wow.
already,
That's
which is
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, and I've had authors reach out to me asking me to review their books and things like that.
Same
Uh,
here. Yeah, that's been cool.
although my TBR is so fat now, when people say, "Hey, you on his books?" Like, okay, well, if you're someone on my Discord, or if you're someone who's already regularly engaging with the channel, I'm probably going to accept it. Or if you're somebody that has already sent me books and we already have built that kind of rapport, then
Hmm.
I'll probably accept it. But new author requests right now, I'm like, maybe now is not the best time because I've already got a lot that I'm scheduled to read that I want
Yeah.
to get through. So
I have made exceptions, but yeah, in most cases, I don't, at least not right now, I don't accept book reviews with a few exceptions that I've made. So just because even though I do reviews, I'm not a reviewer, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah. And so that may change in the future, but for right now, I've got so many books on my TBR.
yeah.
And some of them are self-published as well. Several of them that I've committed to that I want to read. So
Yeah, self-published authors. There's some really good stuff out there by
there
self-published
is.
authors for sure. Um, uh, Jamar and Jamel Effed are writing a series called War in the Fallows.
Oh
Or
wow.
sorry, no, that's the first book in the series is War in the Fallows. Um, I had the opportunity to get first and second book in that series as an arc essentially for review. And there's actually a live stream on the channel with the author interviews me and Epic. Unfortunately, my internet was being really bad that day,
Oh
so
wow.
Epic managed to carry the stream for me. So yay! But yeah, that so there's definitely a few that I have accepted and really enjoying. And Jamara and Jamel Effen's War in the Fallows, just go to Amazon, search War in the Fallows, you'll see it there.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying that. I really enjoy that one. I think it's a pretty decent series. It's kind of interesting because the idea is these kingdoms, and once you reach a certain age, the ruler of those kingdoms they ascend to become gods. But it really kind of leaves it
Interesting.
they really kind of leave it open as to whether these gods are legitimately magical supernatural beings or if they're just heralded and praised as gods but there isn't actually a magical component to their existence. And it kind of
Interesting.
leaves us like, well, are they gods? Are they not? Are they just worshipped as gods, but they're not really gods and they're not really powerful? But that's just the culture and religion that worships them as such. Uh, so I'm two books in. I still not quite sure what the case is, but
Yeah,
it's definitely kind of got that medieval fantasy world type setting for sure.
that's
But
cool.
yeah, it's interesting. I'm definitely kind of enjoying that. I can tell you their second book was a big improvement on the whole writing and style and everything like that. Just huge improvement, which is
Cool.
always good. And I know Epic Tales as well is writing a book. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward.
he's working on his. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading the completed book. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey, I want you to feel." I'm like, "Great! Once you got a completed copy, let me know. I'll be happy to read it." So,
Yeah. Yeah, I've been excited about that
and
too.
you wrote some books too, didn't you?
Well, I did. Yeah, I have one that's published and then one that I'm trying to get everything together to eventually publish. It's completed. It just needs beta reading and everything like that still. So need to get a cover design. So eventually that will be out and available to the mass public. So
Well, awesome.
um,
You have to let
yeah,
us know when it's available. I'll be sure to buy it.
I definitely will. I've been thinking about doing an update on my writing. I did one a long time ago, introducing people to my world that I've created, and it's a multiverse. You know, everybody's doing a multiverse, but this, yeah. So I've been thinking about doing an update at some point. So
Well, that's awesome.
yeah,
My personal policy when it comes to these books is I never ask for a free book because I don't believe that authors should give their stuff away free. Like it's art, they
yeah,
deserve to
right.
get something for it. But that being said, if someone offers me a free book, I'm not going to say no,
Sure, yeah, absolutely. That's my
right?
policy as well. Yeah,
Yeah, so I,
yeah,
I definitely don't I won't ask for it, but I'll definitely accept if offered. Within reason. Like I got an email the other day from somebody. It's like, hey, I didn't respond. It's like, I don't know you. You're not engaging on my channel. You're on my Discord, which I've kind of had to say, leave it at that. Like,
yeah,
but yeah, it's fun though to get those art copies from authors, which is pretty awesome. I've had a few from previously as well. Oh, what was his name? Taylor Cole. That was another self-pub author.
yeah. Okay.
Also, CD says that's exciting, Chas. Yes, let
Oh
us know.
yeah, thank you, CD. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. It's very exciting. I just got to get my button gear.
Oh yeah. Well, take your time. No rush, right?
Yeah,
It's not like you're.
exactly.
It's not like you're. Well, you're not making a career out of it yet, but maybe one day.
Right, exactly. Maybe one day. Some self-pub authors that I really enjoyed that I've committed to reading uh, and getting through their series. One is Jesse Taylor. You may have heard me mention him before, but he writes a universe called the Perilous Universe, and he's got at least 10 books written or more already. He's really good. I read two of his books so far. Dirk Ashton wrote the Paternus series.
Okay.
And he's got a completed trilogy there. So I read the first book and I want to finish it. And then I also want to read um, Richard Nell, the Kingdoms of Ash,
I've heard of that one.
Kings of Paradise, and all those. So yeah, I've been wanting to read those, and that's kind of those are kind of my staples for self-pub fantasy to get through. Um, and then after that, I'll kind of start branching out and see what else I can work in there. But
Yeah, I think the Cradle series that Andrew's Wizardland
oh
reads keeps going on and on and on
yes,
about his self-pub.
that's another one that I want to read. Yeah.
It's on my wish list on my Amazon wish list, which on an
Mhm.
unrelated note is linked below, by the way.
Go get Drew some stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one I hope to get to eventually. But I mean, my wish list for the books that I actually want is about as long as my to be read list.
Oh, I know. Same here.
Although when I take my vacation to Edmonton in August, I'm going to be stopping at some bookstores, and I have a feeling
Hmm.
I'm going to be doing some book shopping.
Hey, there you go. Maybe do a little bookstore vlogging.
Yeah, maybe. I know. I'm assuming it's still on White Avenue. There's a Wee Book Inn on White Ave in Edmonton. White
Hmm.
Avenue. It's like Edmonton's local, bar strip. There's so many bars and unique stores down White Avenue in Edmonton. But they've got a Wee Book Inn there, and I think there's more than one in Edmonton. But I'm pretty sure there's one on White Avenue. It's been a long time since I've been there.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, maybe I will do some local Edmonton vacation book vlogging, bookstore stuff.
That's cool.
That might be fun. Hey,
Hmm.
maybe I'll do that, and it'll be a patron only post.
Oh, there you go. That's an idea. That's really cool.
CD confirms the Wee Book Inn is still on White Avenue and going strong.
Very
Fantastic.
awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, that
I'm
is cool.
I'm
I used to live right by White Avenue,
I'm
which was
I'm gonna
awesome.
be
Sorry,
I'm
go
going to be
ahead.
traveling. Oh no, you're fine. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah, I used to live close by White Avenue in Edmonton when I lived there. This was a long, long time ago, before I had kids or anything like that. And my wife, she worked at Tim Hortons on White Avenue, and across the street from the Tim Hortons, there's the there is the Indigo bookstore, known as Chapters then.
Oh, okay.
So of
I've heard
course,
of chapters.
yeah,
I haven't heard of Indigo, but
yeah,
yeah.
Indigo took them over, and it's all Indigo now. But
Okay.
so I would take my wife to work at Tim Hortons. Then I would go across the street, and I wouldn't leave the store until she came to pick me up after her shift. So I'd go in there,
Nice.
I'd pick up a book, I'd spend the whole day reading. Sometimes I would read the book I just bought and realize I still got some more time, so I went and bought another one.
Wow. Nice.
So,
Yeah,
and,
you had
and
a
my
lot of
wife
reading
always knew
time.
I'd be there. And sometimes her shift would go beyond closing time at Indigo. So I would walk across the street with the books I bought. And of course, Tim Hortons, you can't just hang out in here if you're not buying anything. So I'd buy a coffee for my wife, and then I'd read the book until her shift was done. Say,
That's
no, I'm a
cool.
customer. I got my coffee or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
that
cool.
that was a lot of fun. Of course, that was in the days when I could actually do that. I can't do
Right.
that anymore. But one day we'll see. One day I'll probably come before I
Absolutely.
realize it.
I'm going to be
Y-
traveling to Virginia the end of the month to visit some friends, and I've got a couple of layovers, so I'll probably get in some good reading and
Oh, that sounds like fun.
yeah.
How long you gonna be in Virginia there?
Well, 4 days. My trip is 6 days, but I'll get 4 days of actual downtime hanging with my friends. So 2 of those days are travel, but yeah,
Oh,
6 day trip altogether.
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm still trying to
Yeah,
figure out how we're gonna or what we're gonna do. I have an idea of some of the things I want to do while in Edmonton. Book shopping is one, so definitely I think I might have to stop by We Book In on White Avenue.
nice.
Maybe me and CD can get together and do some book shopping. But that's definitely one thing that I want to make sure that I get done there. But there's also family, friends, and all that good stuff.
That's
Uh,
cool.
See, I was saying to my wife, like, should I like bother buying books from Indigo? Like, wouldn't it just be easier, less luggage if I just had them ship them home? Right? But I mean, in-person book buying is funner than scrolling through an app, right?
That's true. It is. Yeah. Yeah. The majority of my book buying is ebooks, but
I'm actually getting to the point where I think I might have to start considering ebooks. And yet there's a part of me that's like, no, I just have to have the physical book.
I get
But
it.
I
I
worry if I
do.
have that ebook reader, because some of them are so cheap, I won't even think about it. I'll just be like, buy, 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 buy.
Right.
And the next thing you know, I'm gonna be like, crap, did I just spend $500 in a month without even
Oh,
thinking?
I know. Yeah, it can easily happen. I've found, even though I love physical books, I've found that I have a preference for reading on my Kindle. Like my eyes and stuff. It's just so much easier to read
Oh yeah.
on my Kindle. But I enjoy physical books too. With physical books, it all depends on the font. With Kindle, you don't have that problem because you just increase the font. So,
Yeah, there is that. CD says save some tax. Of course,
oh, there
referring to
you
the
go.
fact that Alberta does not have a provincial sales tax, but here in BC we do. So it's five
Ah,
percent 5% federal sales tax in Alberta, and 12% between PST and GST in BC. That's a
okay.
great idea. I could save myself 7% on my book purchases by buying them all in Alberta.
I thought he might be referring to save some of your income tax money to go shopping with, but
Oh, that's already being spent, with this whole trip.
right, that's true.
Yeah,
And
or,
it's
or at least a
expensive,
good chunk of it. Honestly, sometimes you get to the point where it's like, screw it, we need a vacation.
right?
Whatever, I will pay it off over the
Exactly.
next year. We need a vacation, right?
Hmm.
Oh, and I haven't worn this Rush jersey on any video yet, so there you go. NLL, National Lacrosse
Nice.
League. I used to have season tickets to the Rush when I was in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Love lacrosse. I'm so happy that it's being broadcast on TV. I think it's ESPN in the States. They got a weekly game now,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
TSN here in Canada. And the year I moved out of Edmonton, the Rush moved to Saskatchewan. So they're my lacrosse team. I wish all
Okay.
the games were being broadcast, but maybe if
I've never watched lacrosse.
oh man, NLL
Yeah.
lacrosse is just awesome. There's there's going to be a team in Vegas, so that's not well. You're closer to Vegas than you are here, anyway.
Yeah. I'm about an 8 hour, 8 hour. Yeah, about an 8 hour drive from Vegas, depending on traffic. But yeah,
I'm about 2 hours from the closest lacrosse team, the Vancouver Warriors. 90 minutes on a boat plus the drive into Vancouver. Actually, it's probably more like 3 hours with traffic.
okay, yeah,
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely, like my favorite sports. I wear a lot of hockey jerseys. People are like, "Oh, hockey's your favorite." Well, actually, it's lacrosse. I just haven't
right,
talked much about lacrosse because until this season, it hasn't been on TV. There haven't really been a way to access it. So
yeah.
it's lacrosse, then hockey, and then CFL football. And yes, I know people say NFL football is better. They're probably right, but NFL football's on during NHL season. I'm not skipping NHL to watch NFL. I'll watch CFL in the summer.
Yeah, I'm not really into sports at all. I mean, I enjoy going to a baseball game or a basketball game, but I'm not really into sports in general. My son is. My son really enjoys sports, but I've never been. Yeah, I've always been a bookworm, movies, anything like that. But sports was never really my thing. But I enjoy
Well,
baseball and basketball on
let's see
occasion.
if we can merge the book world with sports. Let's actually create the game of Quidditch, like a real life Quidditch top pro league. We'll
Ooh,
actually get some real flying brooms that people could fly on.
there you
Technology
go.
exists. It's just a little, engine booster on the back of a broom, put some wings on it or something. I don't know. I'm
Hmm.
sure you could figure it out. We'll actually have people
Probably.
flying around in arena playing Quidditch. Why the heck not?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember seeing a video a while back where a group of people actually recreated a Quidditch game on the ground. Of course, they
Yeah.
they couldn't do it in the air, but they recreated a version of Quidditch on the ground. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of that as well, for sure.
Yeah.
You and me should get together and we should create a streaming platform that's exclusively devoted to adapting best-selling books. Like, that's all they
Ooh.
do. And
Yeah.
we'll secure like a crazy amount of funding. And instead of trying to buy the rights from the authors, we will invite them to be an active producer, not just like a consultant,
I
but an
like
active
that.
producer on the show. Say, we want to turn this into a show. We're not interested in buying the rights. We want you to produce this with us, and you're going to get a cut of all the profits and proceeds from it as a result.
I like that. Yeah,
That,
that's really cool.
that's what we need to do. And then maybe, just maybe, we might start to have some reasonably, more than 70% happy fan base.
Right, exactly. There,
So
there's
let's
there's
do
a
it.
few there's a few out there that are really good. Like Good Omens was amazing.
Yes, yeah, it definitely
And,
was.
and I have very high hopes for the Sandman as well. But I think that's because Neil Gaiman was actively involved, and they did cut him a portion of the profits as well. So,
Every show I've ever seen
but
adapted where
yeah.
the authors involved has just been better.
Oh,
It, it,
absolutely. So
it's
I
just
like that idea because every author should be involved with their work. I know N.K. Jemisin is actually writing the script to turn the Broken Earth trilogy into a series.
yeah, which I'm looking forward to seeing when that comes out. It's been a while since I've read that, but I mean, if it's a series based off books that I've read, I don't even care if I hated the book. I'm interested in seeing how the series. I mean, I
Right.
didn't hate N.K. Jemisin's books, just to be clear. I didn't. I actually did enjoy the Broken Earth trilogy. But
Yeah.
just saying, like, even if it's a book I didn't like, if it's adapted to a TV show or series, I'm going to be interested in watching it because maybe I'll enjoy the show more. Because sometimes
Yeah.
you could just do with the visual medium that's much more difficult in writing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
with that.
Absolutely.
And on that note, like I've also heard that Brandon Sanderson, like all the movie rights have been auctioned for like Mistborn and Stormlight Archive and all that kind of stuff. Whether it
Hmm.
ever turns into a show remains to be seen. But from what I heard, Brandon Sanderson did not like any of the scripts presented for Mistborn at all.
So he's writing his own.
And
Yep.
so he said, screw this, I'm writing my own.
Exactly.
Right? which
Yeah.
is awesome because if Sanderson writes the script for his own series or his own show, that's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Yeah. CD says, almost done Broken Earth. Not loving it, but it could be a neat show.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not for
yeah,
everybody.
I
Yeah.
mean, I enjoyed the Broken Earth. Definitely, I wouldn't say it's my favorite fan in my list of favorite fantasy series, but
Hmm.
I guess it's kind of post-apocalyptic sci-fi fantasy. That's kind of what I got
Yeah.
from it, right?
Exactly. And I
Which
think that
is always fun.
the more I've thought about it, even though I really enjoyed reading Foundation, and I do plan to read the other, at least the other two books in the original trilogy, I kind of think that I liked the TV series better, actually, just because there's more to the character development and everything. Character development is very very sparse in the actual books, so I enjoyed getting more time with the characters, and it felt new and fresh. So I think I liked the series better, but the books were good still, or the book was good.
Yeah, absolutely. There's countless good books. I
Yeah,
mean, at the end of the day, I'm convinced that Hollywood gets their best ideas from the writers who wrote the books first. Uh,
exactly.
100%. Like I mean, there are shows that I think probably would have been really good books had they been written as books. And
Yeah.
also, thank you, Lady Jane. Books. Thank you.
Hey, Lady Jane.
So as Carnival Row on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you're
Oh,
watching it.
that's so good. I haven't. I don't. Is season two out yet? I don't think it
It's
is it?
not out yet, but my understanding, Carnival Row is not based off of a book, but it's based off of a rejected screenplay for a movie.
I heard that. Yeah, and I loved the first season.
I love that dark fantasy with the fairy creatures and stuff.
I did too.
I would love. I think that would act when I first started watching. I'm like, this has got to be based off of a book somewhere.
Hmm.
Like, it's rare for a show like that to come out that isn't originally based off of some book.
Hmm.
And that's when I found out it's based off of a screenplay that never made the cut. And I'm
Right.
scratching my head. I'm like, how did this not make the cut? People love fantasy.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was fantastic,
I have
but
not seen Reacher,
I have
uh,
not seen Reacher either.
but I might have to add it to my to watch list if you're
Yeah.
recommending it there,
I
Jason.
haven't seen the Jack Ryan series either, the new one on Amazon Prime, but
Yeah,
I've thought about checking that out because I like the guy that plays Jack Ryan in that series, from The Office. I forgot his name now, but
uh,
yeah.
oh, you're thinking like the main boss guy? Oh,
No, the uh what's the guy's name? He played. He's also um, in that sci-fi movie series where he can't, where they can't, like, where they have to be silent throughout the whole movie, or they'll get discovered by the aliens or whatever. I forget what it is, but yeah, he just played one of the.
he says John Krasinski.
Oh yeah, John Krasinski. Yeah, that's the guy. Yep. Yeah, so he's real. I really like his acting, and I'm on the bandwagon for him to be Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four too. He
Yeah,
probably
I
won't
don't.
be, but I want him to be.
Yeah,
A
the
Quiet Place. That's
Fantastic
the one.
Four. Yeah, no, Fantastic Four. So like, I love the ideas in Marvel, like superheroes and whatnot. Just a cool idea, but I found I've really never really gotten really super into it. I've seen the movies.
Yeah,
Movies are
yeah,
like cool, but it's not like something like, man, I want to watch that again.
yeah,
I don't know, the superhero motif, I guess, is just not one that's really been a big seller to me. I don't hate it, I don't love it. I'm pretty neutral on it. It's cool,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
That's
will say,
cool.
Batman's the coolest superhero because there's no magic involved. He's just got his brain and his tech, and
Exactly.
that's what
Yeah.
makes him the coolest.
I think we're going to see the Batman on Friday. I think I've heard really good things about it. So
I might watch it eventually, but I'm actually
yeah.
not that big of a movie watcher. I tend to spend more time with TV shows. I'll occasionally watch a movie if it's something like Dune. I'm not going to miss
Hmm.
Dune. No way.
Right.
Uh-uh. But rarely will I actually go out of my way to watch an actual movie. But it's funny, right? It's say, oh, 3 hour movie. I don't have time for that. All right, how about 10, 30 minute episodes? Sign
Right.
me up. I'll binge it all night.
That's funny. Yeah, it's
Right?
right. Yeah, it's kind of, it's probably because you get that break in between that you can go and do stuff. It is hard to sit through a 3 hour movie, especially in the theater, because there's no
Yeah.
breaks or anything.
Yeah.
When you're watching at home, you can pause it.
Yeah. That's definitely a huge.
Yeah.
And at this point, honestly, I feel like theaters are overrated at this point because I mean we've got 4K TVs, we got big screen TVs. You could
Yeah.
access it wherever you want, and just straight to video format. If I'm gonna watch a movie, that's where I'm gonna go. I did go see Dune in the theater, but that was the first movie I actually paid to see in a theater in probably 5 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's yeah. It was well worth it. Yeah.
Oh, so worth it. So worth it. My wife didn't want to see it in theaters. She said, "I'll just wait till it comes on demand." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I went with a friend of mine, and now we're like, and we're definitely going back to see part two.
Oh yeah. Same here.
Yeah, it's so rare that I'll see a movie in the theater, but when it's something big, which I really hope if Stormlight ever gets turned into a video or a show, it's not a movie. Please do not make Stormlight a
Yeah.
movie. There's too
They couldn't
much
do it
that you
justice with a movie.
you, you just couldn't. You would have to do 5 movies for the first book alone.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Like a 10-hour first season, 1 hour episodes, 10 episodes like they've been doing lately.
Yeah.
Although I miss the days of 25 episodes a season.
Yeah. I do too. Yeah. Those were the days for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, are you watching Picard? I don't know. Do you watch Trek? You watching Picard?
I haven't watched it yet. No, I don't subscribe to Paramount Plus, and I've got so many subscriptions now. I'm like, I don't know if I need another one. The only reason I would subscribe to Paramount Plus is, of course, for the Star Trek stuff, and also for I think I want to watch The Stand, the new one that they did, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know. It's just not worth it to me
yeah,
right now.
yeah, I'm not signing up for Paramount Plus either, but they CTV Sci-Fi here in Canada carries the current Trek series Discovery and
Oh,
Picard.
oh well, that's
So
good. That's good
yeah,
to
it's good
know.
because it's part of my cable package, which is awesome,
Well,
and it's great working,
there
great
you
working for
go.
your ISP because you get a really good deal.
Oh, I bet you do. Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah. See, I don't pay for cable. I'm a cable cutter. So yeah,
okay,
it just got too
that's totally
expensive.
cool. It's funny when I talk to people sometimes at work. They're like, it's like I've had people ask me, well, what do you guys do? And people are cutting cable like crazy these days. And I'm like, well, how are you going to access your Netflix through the internet? Yeah, and we got internet. Why do we need to worry? You're going to get your
Exactly. Yeah,
internet from
I do
somewhere.
pay for
Here we
internet
are,
through my cable ISP. Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
you know, you need internet. It's just changed the way it happens. And I know some companies in Canada, like Rogers, they offer things like Disney Plus and Prime Video through their mobility and internet service as an add-on to the bill, as opposed to through your cable. So we are starting to see a shift in how those services are offered, at least in Canada. I don't know if any companies in the States do it that way, but
yeah.
we're definitely starting to see a shift in how that's done, which is good because I like the idea of a lot of these shows going to streaming services. I mean, come on, ask one person, how do you like commercials in your show? Name me one
Right,
person that said, "Boy, I really miss those days when there are commercials in my show." Right? It's just not there. And going straight to the streaming service is awesome because it's on demand there when you want it,
yeah,
and watch whenever you want. Right? You don't need a PVR because it's already there. Right? Which is awesome.
right.
I'm just really hoping Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the new show that's launching in May, I'm really hoping CTV Sci-Fi picks that up and Paramount doesn't just hold on tight to exclusive rights because Paramount Plus is available in
Oh,
Canada.
yeah.
But right now it's like Crave TV and Netflix both have Trek in Canada, as well as CTV Sci-Fi, which is actually owned by, well, it's owned by the same company that has Crave TV in Canada, which it's another streaming service if you didn't know, but you might know.
Okay.
But essentially, I'm really hoping that that comes to CTV Sci-Fi because I am not wanting to pay for Paramount Plus to see Strange New Worlds. Like I'm not adding any more. Like I said, I'm not adding more streaming services. Too many, right?
Right.
So
There are
here's
too
hoping.
many. Absolutely.
Well, people cut
Well,
cable because it's too much.
I'm gonna have to jump off. I gotta run and go do a couple of other things. But
For sure. I think we've been
thanks
going
for
for
having
about
me
an
join you
hour.
on your stream. This was fun, and hopefully somebody else will jump on in my place and chat with you for a bit. And
Well, I'm probably going to wind down myself here.
you've
I've
had
been
a lot
going
of
for
great
about an
interaction in the
hour.
comments. So
Yeah, yeah, we have for sure. And like I said, been going for about an hour. So thank you for joining me.
yeah,
That was a lot
well,
of fun.
it's been a lot of fun, Drew. And congrats on 500 subs and many, many more to come.
You bet. And everyone subscribe to Bookish Chas. I'll try to get that updated, his channel link
You're
updated in the
welcome.
description.
Take it easy,
And
man.
yeah, you bet. You too. And thanks so much. You have a great day.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you later, man.
Yeah. Thanks, Drew. Bye.
You bet. Bye. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. I think we're probably going to wind down here as well. Uh, yeah. So 500 subs, 5 years on BookTube. My cringy first video, and it's been fun. It's been good conversation with Chas. So thanks again, Chas, for joining us. I'll make sure to get his channel updated in the description. And thanks everyone for joining us live on the stream here. Thanks for the chat and the comments and all that good stuff. It's great to have you all here. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. And here's to another 5 awesome years here on BookTube. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, keep on reading. Bye.